This is so frustrating. Sorry, guys. Facebook just failed me. This is so ridiculous. Oh, man. You guys are the best for not giving up. I have no idea what happened on the last one. Let me see if you're on here, Bianca. I'm just going to invite you. Come on here. Third time's a charm. Let's go, Bianca. Yes. I'm sorry, guys. Bianca's coming on. Technical issues. What else is new? I'm always having technical issues. There we go. Please don't end. Oh my God, yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Here?
Yeah, you're here.
I hear you now.
Perfect.
I think what was happening before was that it was playing in the background while we were live, so I could hear like the repeating. It was so weird.
Oh.
But we're good.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it wasn't gonna work before. We're good now. So should we wait or should we just?
I think we can start.
Just go for it.
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Well. Okay. So I'm super pumped. Sorry, guys, for having to deal with this for so many times, but what do you know? We are so excited to do this. We feel so pumped up after Monations. And speaking of, the one quote that really resonated with us was something that Tim Tebow said, and I bet you anyone who went to it can agree with us. But what he said was, somewhere out there, he is training while I'm not. And when we meet again, he will win. And I feel like that right there was so moving, because if you think about it, someone out there is constantly, like, we feel like someone out there is trying to take our spot, in anything that you do in life. Like, it's just like, you can't take these breaks. So that being said, how hungry are you? Let the Hunger Games begin.
I'm starving. I'm so hungry. And I feel like that was like the motto that was said in Monations. Like, Jackie got on the stage and she's like, I'm not hungry, I'm starving. And so it brought me back to this podcast that I know if my girls are watching, they're going to be like, oh, this girl always talks about this podcast. But it's by Ed Milet, and he says it best. He says, the people who are the hungriest always find a way to make it happen. And, if you feel like things aren't moving for you, if you feel like you're stuck, it really goes back to there is a lack of hunger and there is a lack of desire. And really, desperation is one of the most powerful emotions, but it's something that we always avoid because we never want to look crazy. We never want to stand out. We never want to look desperate. But being desperate is okay. And when we can be okay with looking desperate, we can win. And in the podcast, he brings up this story that I love to talk about. If you're in an office, right? You're at work, you're in a conference room, and then somebody tells you like, hey, your kid is in the hospital. Immediately your stomach is going to sink and your first reaction is going to be like, what do I need to do to get to my kid? Like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get to them. You're not going to second guess it. You're not going to sit there and make up a game plan of how I'm going to get to my kid. No, you're literally going to jump the gun and run and get them. So he gives a perfect example, like, okay, you're in the middle of the conference room. You're not going to ask permission to go. You're going to jump up, run over to the back of the room. Let's say there's a security there and they say, no, sorry, there's a very important person talking. You can't leave right now. You're not going to listen to them. You're going to go through it. You're going to be like, I need to get to my kid. You're going to go outside. You're going to get to your car, and then you're going to realize, oh my God, I don't have my keys. You're going to run back inside. You're not going to care about the security guard. You're going to grab your keys. Okay, I got my keys. I'm going to get in my car. You realize, okay, my battery is dead. You're not going to be like, oh, well, it's not meant to be. I'm not going to be able to get to my kid today. No, you're going to run to the first person you see. And then when you see that person, you're going to be like, sorry, but I need to get to my kid. Like, I'm going to rob you right now. I'm going to get in your car. I'm going to get your keys and I'm going to go to my kid. Like, that's the process of like desperation. You tap into resources that you didn't even know you had because you are so hungry to do whatever it is that you need to do. And so that's something that he brings up and that I think is something that we all could take away from, because I remember some of my most successful moments in this company or in this business were the moments that I was so freaking hungry that I stayed up countless hours for, that I did whatever it had to, whatever I had to do, whether I looked crazy, whether I was uncomfortable. I mean, this alone for me, like doing a live on a training page that I don't really know that many people on, like it's nerve wracking, but it's the things that we have to do to get what we want. And so what he also wants to remind us is that all of the objections, all of our fears, everything that we're afraid of immediately dissipates and becomes white noise when we truly, truly work towards something, and when we're so desperate and hungry to get it. So one quote that he says at the end of the podcast that we really resonated with was that knowledge is not power unless it's applied. No action is no momentum, which means there is no progress. So I think at Monations, what happened for a lot of us, I mean, it was my first Monations. I didn't have to go to Monations to immediately feel like connected and passionate about this business. I was passionate and connected with this business way before Monations, but a lot of us left fully recharged and ready to jump back into this opportunity with the momentum that pretty much came out of nowhere, with new products being launched, with brand new discounts being rolled out. I mean, right now, today, we found out that people who quit the business could re-sign up without having to wait 6 months. Like, everything that the company's been putting out there is like this huge wave of momentum that we're all kind of riding on. But we have to remember that hunger, the desperation, passion, these are all emotions that will die. Emotions, it's kind of like what Jackie and Britt were talking about yesterday, emotions versus convictions, where it's really easy for us to feel that one day and then for the next day it to kind of dissipate. So we do have like a little story about momentum that Denise found, Finding Nemo.
Yeah, so but like, just to recap on what Bianca said, like, guys, if you haven't been to Monations, please get on those bundle tickets, because I'm not kidding you. This was my first one and I missed last year's because of a wedding, and biggest regret, because I had no idea. I mean, a couple girls texted me and said, thanks for literally forcing me to go. But I actually did force them. I got mad at them. Like, we got in fights. I was like, you have to go. You have no excuse. What else could you be doing? But once I got there, I'm like, I would have pushed people harder if I had known. But like Bianca said, it really created this momentum that really changed the game for us, even though we were already motivated. And so, but speaking of momentum, guys, that is the key to success. To You want to create a momentum, and your momentum demands on like one thing only, and which is moving faster than anybody else. So the reference that Bianca is referring to is in Finding Nemo. If you've seen it, I'm assuming everyone has, but when they're sitting outside the jet stream, they're, you know, kind of moving slowly, and they're just like, they're just not getting where they want to, and it's harder to swim. But as soon as they go into it, like their energy like multiplies instantly, their speed and like their entire momentum, and they're just going to, you know, faster to their destination. So the question is, like, how do you create that momentum? Because that momentum is going to carry you guys like through your business, like your weakness, like when you are having weakness moments and all kinds of things. That is what's going to carry you through your business. So I guess, like, you know, here is like what I can give you guys a perfect example of how many of you have experienced this or do this where, you know, I'm like, okay, Bianca, I'm talking to her about the business and I'm saying like, okay, today's Tuesday. Can you get on a call tonight? But instead she's saying to me, okay, how about we get on a call Friday night? And I'm thinking, why not tonight? Why can't we do it tonight? Are you not wanting this as much as I want it? Like, are we not hungry? Because if you're hungry, we should be getting on a call right now. I feel like and I know, Bianca, you're the same. We're just kind of like, let's go overnight it, like get on that next flight, TSA pre-check, like whatever the fastest lane is, I want to be on that lane, because that is literally where the speed I want to be moving. I want to be in the jet stream.
Yeah. Maxwell said it. I think it was Maxwell, where sometimes we have planners and we have the people that just love getting ready. Like they just love having meetings. They love doing that kind of stuff. But really, we all know what gets us results is action. So my personality will be one where I'm, you know, underprepared, but I'm doing it, you know, I'm doing whatever it needs to be done, even if I don't feel like I'm the most qualified. And so Ed Milet also mentions in the podcast, you know, he picks hunger over IQ and skills every single time, because he can't, you know, give you hunger. He can't give you heart. He can't give you desire, but he can teach you. He can give you the skills. And so I think that's so important, because we all know that we're in a business where we didn't come into this knowing everything, but you kind of have to put that aside and make the decision to be like, okay, you know what? Even though I have to prepare for this, I'm still going to be working through it and taking leaps of action while figuring it out. That's why I always tell my girls, like, this is a learn as you earn business. Sorry to like cut in.
No.
I had to bring that up.
But no, that's a perfect example. I know that we all want to kind of hear, you know, okay, be patient, you know, you'll get there in time. But guys, you can be patient. We can be patient. But I heard a speaker say this, and I thought it was perfect for what we're literally listening to right now, and what we heard all throughout Monations is that while you're being patient, I'll go ahead and eat your lunch because I'm hungry. And in 5 minutes, I will be exactly where you want to be with your business in 10 years, which was the question that I wanted. I want you guys to write this down, because it's such a powerful question, I think. Like, how do I take my 10-year plan and execute it in 6 months? If that's how you think, you are thinking hungry. Like, how can I get there? It doesn't matter who got there, when they got there. It's not even, there is no timeline here. You are making that timeline.
And it's also, I mean, we don't like to compare, but I think it's really good to have somebody that you look up to when you start this journey. So, you know, if you're somebody that just started this journey, I used to follow like all the Monet girls that inspired me. And I said, you know what, if they can do it, then you can do it. And, you know, you're gonna see girls succeed in this business, but it just has to show you and prove to you that this business is real. So two of my mentors and one of my good friends, Liz, Isa, and Joanna, they picked up their checks for hitting SED and ED. And it was such a proud moment because it was like, yeah, I've seen other girls do that. You know, I saw Jackie Ortega do that when I first started, but guess what? I didn't know Jackie Ortega. I knew and I know these girls had just picked up those checks. So it's a really amazing moment because it shows and proves to us, oh my God, this is a real opportunity at our hands. Imagine if you were in a company where nobody was winning, nobody was getting to the top, nobody was picking up these checks, then that's a real problem. But seeing girls win and knowing that there's people out there that are picking up amazing bonus checks, that are changing their lives, impacting the lives of others. I mean, that's amazing in this company. And I think that's what we all kind of clicked with too at Monations. I keep cutting in,
No, you have
stop
to
me at
because
any time.
it's okay. We totally like it, it's so fine. Um, it's we're hungry. Um, Speaking of,
Literally.
but there's like 5 steps that we kind of wanted to go over with you guys because I feel like when sometimes we get to a place and you can agree or disagree with me. I wish I could see the comments. But you get to a point and you might kind of feel satisfied. And I feel like you can never feel satisfied when you're really hungry, right? So how do we fuel our appetite and never be satisfied? These are 5 actions that I would really think about considering putting in towards your business because I think it's super important. And number 1, learning new recipes. Guys, who on here right now can say that every single day they either read a couple pages in a book, they listen to a podcast, they watch personal development, you have someone like, for instance, Bianca watches, what's his name?
Ed
Yeah. She listens to his podcast all the time. Like that's her go-to. So that's something that we need to be doing. We need to be learning new recipes. Perfect example is what Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, who is, he is $20 billion worth. He is one of the most innovative people out there. And he said it. The only reason why he was able to build a rocket is because he read. That's really what he said. And I'm not saying, Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, that they're where they are in their business because they read. But I'm saying that it's good because we want to learn new recipes. We want to add new flavor to our day to day. We have to keep, expanding our taste buds. So that's something that you want to do in your business because it might be not something that you personally experience, but reading it or hearing it or learning it from somebody else is going to only make you stronger as, in this business, as a person, and just overall. The second action, sweet tooth. I'm terrible with sweet tooth. I know that Brittany knows that. But who has a really bad fix for sweet tooth? You just have to have that chocolate. Like you just have to, like you can't miss out on that slice of cake when it's served right in front of you. But I think that like we have to kind of think about it as like want versus need. I kind of think of sweet tooth as like not missing out on just kind of choosing plans, your business over your plans, right? Like want versus need. Like what do I want? Like I want food, but I need that 6-course meal that I'm working towards. I'm going to miss out on this brunch. I'm going to miss out on this date night because it's more important for me to be here right now. So I'm gonna maybe take that full week. I always say this, like I think if I go a full week without eating chocolate, I won't have a sweet tooth. So like if this is a challenge for all of you, take from today till next Tuesday, cancel all your plans, focus on your business and see how it changes for you. If I put my head down and do nothing but this, my momentum is even more sky high, like I'm more hyped and my team feels it. I feel it. My girls, everyone that you talk to about the business will feel it. So don't give in to that sweet tooth and try to kind of, give yourself like spare of timelines. Like, okay, I'm going to go for a week now. And then maybe I'm going to see what happens with my 2 weeks of me just focusing on my business and not prioritizing other things.
So wait, Tim Tebow actually at Monations, when he was giving his speech, he was talking about the I think it was the
Oh yeah.
Patriots or
Mm-hmm.
some football team that he was trying to be a part of. And he had just signed on. They told him, keep a low profile, don't do, other business ventures, like just stick to this.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, all right. He got contacted for $1 million deal. All he had to do was like pose for some pictures or something. And he was like, sweet, easy money. It's $1 million deal. Perfect. Well, he was like, you know what? My coach did tell me to keep a low profile. Let me call him, hoping that, maybe he'll be okay with this. He calls his coach. His coach is like, you know what? I'm just not comfortable with it. I would prefer it if you didn't do it. So that $1 million deal that he could have took, by the way, he didn't take it. He decided not to because of his larger goal. The bigger picture was that he was so dedicated to being on that team, being a part of that community, that he was like, this short-term money, I'm not going to take it. And so what I connected that with was that some of the girls that work this business, some of you are working so hard for a short-term job. That job as a bartender where you
Mm-hmm.
are working these crazy hours, that's not a long-term job that you're going to have for the rest of your life, right? So it's about making sacrifices. But you have to be passionate about this business, because when you're passionate, that's when it's not going to feel like a sacrifice. That's when you're going to be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I have to do this for a bigger cause. And so, yeah, it stung him a little bit that he wasn't able to get that quick $1 million. But at the end of the day, it was for a larger purpose. And we always have to remember the larger picture.
So true. I know. I love that you said that. Um, I forgot which one I was at. 3. Healthy eating,
Yeah.
guys. Okay, so we work in network marketing, which is one of the industries that people like have a lot of opinions on, right? And by healthy eating, I'm talking about like what kind of things are you allowing into your atmosphere? What kind of news? Because I get it on social media, on the internet, people are just everywhere. They open their mouths and they don't think about what they're saying. So are you only welcoming healthy information into your mind? Because it's super important. Whatever you let in the morning, from morning to night, that really is going to define your day. So are you letting only bad news come into your day to day and affect your business, affect your mood, your mindset? That is going to impact your business if you just are looking for the good. When someone sends me anything negative, whether it's business related or not, I was just talking about this. I refuse to click on it. I don't care because I don't, right?
Same.
Like, I'm not going to give that even, I'm not even going to give my worth, like any of my time to click on it, to look at it. It's just not worth it. So think about healthy eating. It's hard. It's not easy, but again, you have to, block out all the bad stuff that, that is exposed to you during your day to day. Step 4, meal plans. So this is simple. It is so hard to commit to things, right? I want you guys to commit. So instead of, like, we talked about this, like the whole brunch and dinner thing, right? I know, actually, I don't know if Shelby's on here, but she's been doing what is that thing called? The 75 something? It's like it's a thing. You don't know
No, I've
it.
never heard of that.
It's like
I don't know
75.
anything about meal
No.
plans.
This is not a meal plan, but she's been doing this for a while. This is the second time she's doing it. I think it's like the 30-day, whatever, but it's 75 days. And she's doing it for the second time. And when we were at Monations, she didn't drink. She was, following her strict. She's committed. And that's what I mean by meal plans. Like, I want you guys to commit. So if you are feeling like, okay, well, I worked a couple of days, but I just feel like if I go out tonight, that means I won't make the call tomorrow, and then this and then that, and you just got to commit. You have to commit. You are committing to meal plans, and that means you cannot go out and eat all the time, and you cannot do all the things. So make a commitment to your business and how you are going to make, sacrifices, like Bianca said. And again, it's not a sacrifice when it's something that you are constantly doing every day and you feel passionate about it, and you only will get there, guys, if you are committing, and you're gonna see your passion kind of unfold itself. And
I have
go
this,
ahead. No,
oops.
go ahead.
I have this this picture. It's in my WhatsApp group, and it literally says anybody can get hype, not everybody can get committed. So it's really easy, you know, after Monations to be so excited, like, oh my God, I'm on top of the world. I'm gonna do all this stuff, like skincare, this whole new market. But then you get home and you fall right back into your lazy routine or whatever it is that you do. Like, you have to remember that this is a commitment that you have to make every single day, and you have to make this business a priority, because I can't remember who said it,
Tim
but
Tebow,
you know,
right? I'm like, I remember.
No, I was gonna say something else, but you know, like you might have your other job, like you know that you're gonna get paid by your other job, but what about this? You know, a lot of people give excuses. They're like, oh well, God forbid, my dog was at the vet, or XYZ happened, my boyfriend broke up with me, I'm getting a divorce, etc., etc., etc. Okay, but you still have to show up to your other job, right? What about this? So you have to commit to this like it's your bread and butter, even if it's not your bread and butter.
Agreed. But still stick to your healthy diet with your bread and butter.
Yeah, so skip the bread and butter. Like, this is your salad and dressing.
No, that's so true though. And what I was just going to say was, what I love that that's your WhatsApp group chats, and like it's in your chat because of what he said.
I got to let them know.
It's so true. They're on here like, okay, Bianca. But it's so true. Tim Tebow said that, right? And guys, how many of you get on one of these calls, get on, like, you know, you were on last night's call with Brittany and Jackie. I was so hyped. And I was already hyped before the call, but they got me even more hyped. And I was telling Jackie this like the entire weekend. I'm like, I'm just inspired. And they're my friends, but I'm inspired by them. And sometimes, like, we say that and then we kind of lose our momentum and our motivation. And that's because it's all hype. So if you don't have passion, then it means nothing, because the hype is going to die out, but passion never does. So that's something that,
oof. Preach.
Okay, step 5. This is simple. This is something that they preached at Monations. We've been talking about this so much with our teams. Events, and I know, Bianca, you do them a lot. So step 5 is family dinners. Part of, like, this is what's going to fuel your appetite, guys. You have to do events with your teams, have dinners with them, have get-togethers with them. Find out who lives in your area. Don't wait like, oh yeah, I'm gonna find out, oh yeah, I'm gonna make these plans. Oh no, do it. Have those family dinners, because there's nothing more powerful in your business than connecting with your business partners and being there with them. Just going to Monations and meeting some of the people that we met that, you know, we hadn't met yet. For me, that was so emotional, just seeing them. You know, so have those get-togethers. It's super important. Those are my 5 steps.
And well, just to touch into the events thing, because I know that events can be like super overthought and avoided. Sarah Hill, I think, says, you know, our business has to be high tech and high touch.
Oh, true.
So the coming together aspect, if there's one thing that you take away from this, like, you have to do it, because what it does is it creates FOMO on social media. Because yes, let's say you do a potentials event and you invite all these people and they don't show up. Well, you're still going to post about it. You're still going to talk about it. You're still going to be there with your team, and they're going to be like, damn, I should have gone. The second thing is you get to like hang out together. So yeah, maybe no potentials show up, but at the end of the day, you guys got to get to know each other in person, off of the phone. Like, it's a completely different relationship that you create when you're in physical contact with somebody versus virtually. And it's so crazy, because one of my girls that went to Monation, she was like, you know what? I'm just so sick of people not working the way that I want them to work, because I know that I am one specific way, but not everybody's like that. That what she took from Monations was that everybody's different. Everybody's motivated in different ways. So she's like, I am getting to know my team. That's what she took away from Monations. So, you know, she's doing calls with them, she's meeting up with them in person, she's hanging out together, because instead of complaining, that was her massive action that she took. She was like, I'm going to finally get to know them, because just telling them what to do isn't enough. So events, I think, can be so helpful for you to get out there, show people that this is a real company. So many people saw that Monet was real when we were at
So
Monations,
true.
posting about it, showing 8,000 people in a room, showing the girls picking up their checks, showing people getting into the $1 Million Club. Oh God, I'm sick.
I'm sick too.
But it's true. Like, that's what events can do for you. It can really amplify your business 10 times over. I feel like 2 things made my business take off way faster than it should have, was the events and coming together. And then I just lost my train of thought on what the other one was. It was events and
it's events.
How did that happen? Events and events. It'll come back to
because
me.
You're hungry.
But collaborating.
Oh, yeah.
So it was the collaborating aspect and the events. So yes, getting out there doing events, but collaborating with one another. Like, Denise and I have no background. We don't make money off of each other. Nothing like that. We connected on social media from another girl that does the business. We started following each other. We liked each other's style of leadership. And then we got to meet each other at Monations for the first time. And then I told her, oh my gosh, I am terrified of going on Facebook Live in groups. And she was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then she texted me, and here we are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's fun to get to do those things and to get through these hurdles together. And we're probably getting off topic, but those are some of the things that you can do to take your 10-year plan and fast forward it to a 6-month plan. Like, you need to treat this as a real business. Girls sign up and they forget that this is yours. This is not your mentors. This is not anybody else's business. You are the one that's going to make this grow. You are going to be the one that has to be in control. You know, you can sit there and cry and complain about your team all day long, but if there are no actions that are being held, then nothing will change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So Ed Milet, he has these 4 things that you guys can practice to reevaluate yourselves and to tap into the hunger that maybe you don't know if you have, or whatever the case may be. So the first one is to rate yourself. Evaluate, like, where are you right now? Like, where are you mentally? Where are you? Where do you want to go? 2 things that you can do is think about how you would rank your hunger in general. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hungry are you? How hungry are you to get what you want? 1 being terrible, 10 being you're starving. All you can think about is this. You stay up at night. All you can think about is your team, texting them, how can I help you? 5 being, you know, I take notes, I show up sometimes here and there. Rate yourself. Be honest. The second part is, how laser focused are you on what you want? So many girls run this business a la loca, like not even with no direction, like, because you don't know what you want out of this business. You have no idea. So you need to get laser focused on that, because when you are laser focused, that's when you can accomplish things. That's when you can make plans, right? You can have a plan of action when you know what it is that you want. So the second part of this, is to be more intentional. You know, so what are the things that you're going to be changing now? What are you going to be doing? I know we talk a lot about being intentional on social media, but if you can just repeat to yourself, like, what it is that you want after you already have pinpointed it. Like, let's say you want AED, like, I want AED. Like, all I could tell myself in the months coming when I was trying to go for AED was, I'm AED. I would literally be like, hi, my name is Bianca and I'm Associate Executive Director. And like, I would do that all the time. I would tell myself AED. It was on my phone background. It was on Post-it notes all over my house. Like, you have to be so repetitive and you have to declare it and you have to say it and be intentional about your actions towards those goals. So that's the second thing. The third thing is, what's your strategy? Like, what are you going to do to increase that hunger, and that focus? So maybe you need to be around more people that are more positive thinking, more goal oriented, like-minded individuals. Maybe you need to be put in a group chat of girls going for MMB or girls going for MM. Maybe that's what you have to do. Share your goals with each other. Something that I was telling Denise earlier is, I used to be so shy about saying whatever it is that I was going for or what I was doing, because I was so afraid of looking stupid. Like, I don't want to say I'm going for executive director and
Not
then
hit it.
not hit it and I look like a dumbass. Like, but I don't think about it like that anymore. I say it and I declare it. And you know what? If I didn't hit it, then that was my warm up. Like, that was my warm up month. When you declare it and when you say it, and you have people there that are holding you accountable, it's like, if I say it on social media, like, well, now I have to do it because I told everybody I was going to do it. Right? So be more open about that with your journey and all those things. You can also eliminate distractions. So maybe you're somebody that loves watching Netflix. Like, I used to love watching Netflix. Well, I'm so hungry right now that I can't lay down and watch Netflix, because I feel like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing to better my business? Like, this business has ruined entertainment for me. Like, going to the movies is like impossible. Like, I cannot sit through a 2-hour movie knowing
Screw
that I can
getting
be
your
working my
nails
business on
done.
my phone. That's how hungry you have to be. That is your mentality, and that's where your mind goes, that you're like, I can't. Like, how can I take 2 hours off of my business? I can't do that, right? So that's what you guys have to think about. Maybe you need to get out of your house. Maybe you need to meet people. Like, maybe you don't work well at home. Maybe you're too lazy and you lay in bed. Maybe you need to go to a coffee shop. Maybe you need to network with other girls in the business, get together, start thinking of different ways, that you can strategize. And then the fourth most important thing is that right after this call, there has to be some sort of massive, immediate action that you guys are going to take towards bettering yourselves, towards being more hungry, towards reaching those goals. So what is it going to be? Is it going to be cutting out specific people in your life that have been negative, that have trashed your business? I deleted Twitter. I know that that's something that I did when I started my business, because people were so negative on it. It's like Denise said, like, if I don't have to be exposed to negativity, I'm not going to be exposed to negativity. I'm going to cut out every single avenue and doorway that negativity can enter my life. So you guys need to be selfish about, who you spend time with. If it's a person that you have to eliminate from your life, then you need to make those choices and decisions and know that it's for your business and your future.
Wait, I want to add something. Sorry. Just because we
go,
love this quote. I can't remember who said it, so tell me who said it, because I keep forgetting and I need to write it down. But this was said at Monations, and this was so bold.
Oh, I know.
She said, if you're going to let people, their thoughts and their, like, whatever they're saying get to you, get to your head, get to your mind, you might as well give them the pin to your bank account. It is so freaking true, because if you really care that much what people have to say about you, about your business and what they think, and you think that that is going to rule out everything else that you thought 5 seconds ago, and you're going to let that get to you, hand them over your bank account. Give it to them, because let them run your life. Let them make the money that you're making with this, or you could be making with this, but instead we're listening to the negativity. Sorry, go back.
Literally, that is, no, that's the realest thing. And I mean, that pretty much sums up everything. Like, honestly, guys, you can't know where you're going in this business unless you evaluate yourself. Like, you need to be so straight up and real with yourself. And I know that I'm pretty real with myself all the time. Like, I know what my fallouts are. I know what I need to work on. And you guys have to have that awareness too, because once you have that awareness, then you can do this business. And then all in all, that was Sarah Reed, by the way. Yeah, she also, which is what we were going to wrap up this call with, she also mentions that there was a period of time where she felt stuck for a long time, and she couldn't figure out why. She loved the product, loved the business, wanted it to work so bad, but she never made the actual decision to do it wholeheartedly, to do it hungry. She never made that decision. It took a really honest phone call with her upline that upset her for it finally to click, where she finally decided, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this work. And that's what a lot of you guys have to do. You just have to make the decision.
So we want to do a social media challenge, okay? It's just amongst our teams. It's not like we're trying to break the internet. We probably could if we wanted, because Monet. But let's all go back to that week that we're trying to put our heads down and commit, right? Maybe it's this week, maybe it's next week. It should be this week, it should be next week, it should be every week. If you're excuse me.
It should be tomorrow, because we're hungry, because we're starving.
Exactly. And we're going to share on social media, just write, I made the decision, #Hunger Games, and call it that. No one has to know what it's about. We all know what it's about. We know that you made a decision to take your business. You want to take charge over your business, and you want to start now. You made the decision, and say it out loud, put it out in the universe, because that's the only way you're going to commit.
Yes, guys. And we just want you to embrace desperation. We want you to embrace looking crazy. None of us are perfect.
Nope.
And you know what? Like, your first post is gonna suck. Your first Instagram story is gonna suck. Your first live is gonna suck.
Gonna suck.
Yes, your first event is gonna suck. But you got to start. Who said it? I think Leslie Brown said it, or no, maybe it was Maxwell. There's so many speakers. You have to. You know what? Now I just lost it. But you have to be. In order to be great, you have to start. There you go.
Yes.
Right? Something
Sounds
like
great.
that. Sounds perfect.
A lot of good quotes on this call, so I'm good with it.
So many good speakers. Thanks. But yeah, guys, we're just really excited, and we wanted to thank you guys for spending your night with us.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so happy you did this with me, Bianca. I know this is your first in BB training, but this won't be the last.
Oh my God. All right, guys.
But yes, let the Hunger Games begin, guys. Let's go. Have a good night. Bye.